and welcome to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast, where we explore how technology, AI, and cybersecurity are reshaping the way we work. This segment of our tour, we are back at it again, live in London, interviewing top IT leaders. Each episode, we're going to bring you insights from real leaders and industry experts on how organizations can navigate today's challenges and unlock tomorrow's opportunities. From making sense of complex data, to simplifying IT environments, to delivering real business outcomes, Lenovo is helping businesses of every size reimagine what's possible. Join us as we dive into the future of work. Work Reborn. Let's go. Hello, Tiago. Welcome back to the Work Reborn podcast. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Rita? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. So you're coming off fresh from your keynote that you did here at the conference. Before we get into, diving deep about some of the topics, that you've kind of talked about today, let's give some people who haven't listened to our conversation prior a little bit of context, who you are and what you do at Lenovo.
Absolutely. My name is Tiago Silva. I lead the Cybersecurity Services practice at Lenovo. And during the keynote, we really drove two main themes. The first one was to share insights with the audience about a survey that we did of around 600 IT professionals and CISOs to understand their level of readiness when it comes to AI cybersecurity risks. So I shared some of the insights that we got from that survey, and we have a report available online that anyone can go there, download the report, and even get more insights. And then the second theme that I drove as part of the presentation was really to share awareness on how important cybersecurity is for Lenovo, how we address it as a company, and also the services and the framework that we have put together, CRaaS, that stands for Cyber Resiliency as a Service, that really helps customers to achieve a level of resiliency that organizations need to keep their business running when they're in the unfortunate situation of getting impacted by a cyber attack.
Yes. We've really been promoting this report to everyone because the information is impactful and profound. I mean, we have all the data, but I would love to hear from you. What does it really tell us at the end of the day? Going past the numbers, past the statistics, how is Lenovo turning these insights into innovation and offerings that make a real difference for our customers?
So the data tells us that there is a lot of work to be done. We hear that 90% of the 600 people that helped us to fill out that survey say that they don't feel very comfortable with the level of defenses that they have in their organization to protect them against cyber attack. That's a problem. It's also an opportunity for us in the industry, right? We need to do more. We need to work together. We want that level of comfort to go up in this case, right? And we want them to feel comfortable versus less comfortable. 90%, a lot of work to be done. And AI is not going anywhere, right? Actually, AI is going to accelerate.
It's going everywhere.
A lot. It's going everywhere.
Yeah.
It's going everywhere. Actually,
Yeah.
It's going to accelerate a lot of things, including the cyber risks that we're seeing today, right? So cybersecurity, as we see it today, will be completely different. It's already completely different than it was in the past, and the speed of change will just increase moving forward when we have things like quantum AI, right?
I mean, I've been hearing about quantum AI, and I'm not going to lie to you. For those of us who are just getting into this industry and space, do we even know what that really means? Like tangentially, like how do organizations wrap their heads even around such a topic?
Quantum AI will accelerate a lot of things. Like
Yeah.
the compute speed will be exponential, right? The prediction accuracy when it comes to AI will be a lot higher. So quantum AI already exists. Everything indicates that there are still some work to do to make it more perfect, but we're getting there.
Right.
And what we have been hearing is that encryption as we know it today will be cracked fairly easy with quantum AI. right? So we need to start, and I know a lot of organizations are already preparing for quantum AI, and we need to have quantum AI secure cryptography, and then how we handle, all the other pieces that are more aligned with the AI technology.
According to the report that we've been talking about, the complexity of the IT environment was ranked as a number one barrier to using AI for security purposes. Because we've talked a little bit, on general terms, but focusing in on the security aspect of AI, how is Lenovo helping customers simplify and move forward despite those challenges?
The challenges weren't really something that we were surprised, right? We understand that there are a lot of disparate tools, systems out there, outdated. They don't talk with each other, right? So that has been a problem that the industry has been facing for quite some time. There are different organizations that have, the perfect solution or the perfect tool, so they claim
Right.
for this specific aspect and that specific aspect. But how do all these tools share the same information?
The silos have always existed, but now I feel like they've widened potentially.
Correct. So there is a lot of noise, but how do we distinguish what's noise from a signal that we really need to act on, right? So Lenovo is really trying to address these in a two-part. One, thinking about overall resiliency, right? So when we put our CRaaS framework together, Cyber Resiliency as a Service, we really want to drive that resiliency because it's not in terms of how fast business can recover from a cyber attack, is not having the business stop at all.
Right.
So our framework, it's end-to-end, covers different aspects. We have a large ecosystem where we can leverage, the latest technology and platforms available to provide services on top of those and help our customers. Right. So it's really important, to think about resiliency, and that also helps us to have conversations with customers that increase their security posture to a level that the business feels comfortable with it, because we don't want to have too much security, right?
We don't want to
Because
overwhelm
we want folks to be productive as well.
Right.
And then, the second aspect is helping customers to bring it all together, right? Bringing that platform that will get data from the different systems so we can act on it, be faster. And then when we act on a specific area, we get all the other covers. And obviously that brings benefits as well from costs of running IT security and so on.
When I think about it, I feel that employees within organizations and within the IT capacity, there's only so much they can do to keep up with these changes. So there's going to be a point where these leaders are going to need to ask for help and get support, and they'll go further and farther if they go together, especially with us in the mix, right? So,
Absolutely.
we work with businesses of all sizes, from small to enterprise, and I'm curious to know, how do our offerings adapt to meet those different needs, especially for organizations looking to level up IT and cybersecurity? And talk me through maybe some examples, like from small to medium to enterprise, like how we could be working together.
Absolutely. First, let me acknowledge something that you said. There is a lack of cybersecurity professionals, right? Estimates are around 4 million cybersecurity professionals are needed in the market that don't exist right now. Now, couple that with AI knowledge, right? And then we have cybersecurity professionals that need to be very familiar with how AI works and protect against AI as well. So in a way, fight AI with AI, because budgets are shrinking, right? I think IT teams have been facing this challenge for quite some time, CISOs as well. And now with AI, they expect more to be done in a way with less, because we want to leverage AI to get information faster for us, and we need as an industry, because no way that, even if we augment teams with people, we'll be able to get there, right? At machine speed, right? We cannot compete with machine speed. So going back to the question you were asking, Lenovo is very flexible in terms of working with different customers, right? So depending on the customer needs, we tailor an approach that fits that need, right? We normally start by doing an evaluation, a conversation with the customer, and seeing where the customer is from a security posture perspective, and then having a conversation in terms of figuring out what needs to be put in place so we can augment that security posture and then maintain it, right? And this is, in areas like Access and trust management. Who has access to what, right? Data protection. How can you protect the data in transit, at rest? Visibility and risk management, right? We cannot protect what we don't know that exists, right? And how can we manage, risk accordingly? And then detection and response, right? How we keep monitoring systems, trying to identify threats, stop those, contain those before, they get to a point where it's more difficult. So we can provide all those systems across endpoints and across different platforms as well. And it's very important to mention that a lot of people think, well, it's just a Lenovo, so when it comes to services, our scope is only Lenovo devices. No. When it comes to services, we're actually agnostic from a platform perspective, but we're also agnostic from an endpoint perspective as well. We provide services, and that means on Lenovo devices, which are the best, by the way,
They are
and
the best. Yeah.
non-Lenovo devices as well.
Amazing. Why do you believe Lenovo is the right company to help organizations through the challenges we're seeing with AI and cybersecurity right now?
There are only a few companies in the world that have the scope that Lenovo has, right? As a business, we cover the endpoints with PCs and workstations and tablets and so on. We cover the mobile devices with our Motorola business. We cover infrastructure with our infrastructure business that we have. And then we have a services layer as well. All of these different services have a strong AI component as well, right? So there are only a few organizations that can drive what we are driving at scale, right? The coverage that we do in terms of the different domains, and then the focus that we've been putting on AI and leveraging AI so organizations can be more productive and get all the benefits of it as well, but also leveraging AI to protect them against new threats, right? So Lenovo, end to end, there are only a few organizations in the world that can really cover it as we do and do the things that we do, right? So
And
one-stop shop in a way.
One-stop shop. I love that.
Yeah.
What are we doing specifically for cybersecurity offerings to help deliver those measurable business outcomes that we're talking about and looking for? Like, how are we doing that and not just providing technical advantages?
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point because I think cybersecurity professionals normally tend to pitch investment in cybersecurity in technical terms. Well, the fact is the investment for cybersecurity normally comes from other areas of the business, comes from, the CFO, right? The business owner, the GM, comes from, sometimes the CEO, right? So it needs to be justified as a return on investment. Right? So with the services that we're putting together, we want to deliver outcomes. And that's what we are seeing with a lot of customers, right? Outcomes in terms of 40% improvement on their security posture, 20% of improvement in terms of cost that they have in the first year, driven by the automation that we bring in, maintaining that high level of service quality. So the digital employee experience really high. Those are really, the outcomes that, or some of the outcomes that we're driving. Obviously, when it comes to cybersecurity, we want a faster mean time to detect, mean time to respond, right? And though we're driving those outcomes. And that's how cybersecurity organizations and professionals or leaders should be pitching when they're asking for investment, because there is a race for investment out there. Cybersecurity investment still, I believe, stays at number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1 is obviously AI right now, but it's trying to change from the technical aspect to business aspect and the benefits that cybersecurity brings.
Right.
Because we all know, about recent situations that have been happening without mentioning them, ransomware attacks, factories that have been without producing cars for more than a month.
Right.
Very, very costly, very impactful,
The
right, to a
business
lot of people
interruption is a
involved in
huge
that
loss.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, to round out this conversation, the thing that really resonates with me is that all of these progressions in business that Lenovo is working on is rooted in a concept of work reborn. And, we've said it a lot on the podcast. It's the name of the podcast, but I want to talk about, in your own point of view, like, what does that really mean? How is Lenovo bringing that idea to life for customers today? What's Lenovo's take on bringing new life to the modern workplace, and what Work Reborn can really mean for business?
The way that we work, live, play, has changed dramatically since this Gen AI revolution. AI has been with us for quite some time, but Gen AI really accelerated a lot of things. AI is already in our environment, and more individuals and organizations needs to really leverage it to drive the productivity that organizations need, and the ones that will not do it will be left behind. Right? So there's a new way of getting things done, and as humans, right, we have been evolving throughout times. This is just another evolution, right? Lenovo is coming up with the different tools, the different services to help organizations to really leverage AI, right? I'm quite sure you have been there. I have been there
Yes.
recently as well, where we need to do something, and something that will take us hours, days to put together, and maybe
I
a
was
lot
just talking about how if I used to, on my internship, one of my internships, I would manually write meeting minutes. That was my whole job for a whole summer.
Absolutely, like it's examples like that,
Yeah.
right? That we had to do things, we had to spend a lot of time, and now you can just like leverage a tool, right? Hopefully, built and implemented in a secure way, very important,
Right.
right? With the very different domains that need to monitor it to make sure it's doing the right thing. But now we can just leverage the tool and get it, in a matter of minutes, right? So the other day I had to do, quite a complex calculation. Before I'll probably go to Excel, because all of us had to, one, learn how to use computers many years
Right.
ago, and two, Windows was introduced, Microsoft Office was introduced. We had to learn how to leverage those tools. Now it's the same with AI. I just went to, this Gen AI tool, and that calculation was done for me in seconds, right? It really saved me a lot of time. So Work Reborn is exactly that. Is how do we leverage the technology that is available now, which is AI. Tomorrow might be something else, right? But now it's AI, and how we see and get work done in the different manner that helps all of us at the end of the day, in a secure manner as well, because cybersecurity is very
Right.
important, and we're here at the cybersecurity event.
Yeah. And I also think we've talked about how, yes, we can get the work done, but then it allows us to empower employees and teams to do work that matters, and go away from the menial tasks as well, too,
Absolutely.
hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Be more impactful.
There you go.
more
Well
impactful.
said from the expert himself. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tiago, for being here on the podcast. If you have, at this point, not downloaded the Work Reborn research report, please do. You can check it out, downloading it via the QR code somewhere on the screen. Or if you're listening to the podcast, click it via the link in the show notes below and grab you a copy of that report. And that's a wrap for our session today. Thank you so much, Tiago.
Yes, please do that. A
Yes.
lot of good insights there.
Yes.
Thank you very
Please
much, Reese.
download it. Yes. All right. Thank
Pleasure
you.
to be here.
Thank you for listening to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. To learn more about how Lenovo is helping organizations transform with AI, cybersecurity, and smarter IT solutions, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. And also, we'd love to hear from you. Make sure to leave a comment with any other questions that you would like us to discuss on our next episodes. See you next time.
Lenovo.